No longer any place for them in heaven. So the dragon and his angels were defeated. Now, notice this phrase, there was no longer any place for them in heaven. Now, the meaning of heaven here hasn't changed. This is still referring to outer space. There's nothing in the context to say it changed elsewhere. In other words, whoever or whatever this dragon is and his horde of 1/3 angels, they lost access to outer space. They can no longer travel in outer space. And as we see in a moment, they're cast down to the earth. So, no more access to outer space. If they can fly, they can still fly in the sky, but they can't go outside of the Earth's atmosphere anymore. They lost that when they lost Star Wars. Okay, now verse 9 tells us who the dragon is, unquestionably. Verse 9, the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent, Genesis chapter 3, the serpent that tricked Eve, that ancient serpent who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. And then as verse 10 adds, he's also the accuser of Christians. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Now, this is the last time where it mentions the 1/3 fallen angels. I think I see them mentioned again later in this chapter, but only symbolically. So we'll see what I believe happens with these angels that also fell to the earth. Now, this is where, let's stop and think. This is John the Apostle. He's been transported to the future through a wormhole up into heaven, as we learned in chapter 4. He's in the future watching the tribulation happen. He's there watching it from heaven. When it's over, he's put back in his body on earth. Maybe a second or two of time has passed for him, and he goes on his way. He writes this down, right? So we're seeing this Star Wars he just described, but that's kind of from his point of view. So what does this look like from Earth's point of view? Will we see it? Will it be on camera on our satellites? Will it be something we see through our telescopes? Will it be something that'll be televised? That I don't know. But the Bible does talk about the fall of these angels to the earth. Jesus mentions this. So let's take a look at that. Let's go to Luke chapter 21. And then when we get there, we've actually gone through this section many times, so we're just going to look at verse 26 that deals with this same time where Jesus is talking about it. So Luke chapter 21, verse 26, Jesus says, people will faint from fear and foreboding of what is coming upon the world, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. This lines up with the angels falling from the sky. So this is a scary looking event, okay? People are seeing them coming down, fainting from fear. Some of them are probably not waking up. Some of them are probably literally scared to death. They're having a massive time of cognitive dissonance. They're seeing stuff in the sky that they've only seen in science fiction movies, and their mind is like, but this is real, but this is impossible, but this is real, but this is impossible. So for some of these people, their nervous system is going to shut down and they're going to faint, or they're going to have a heart attack. It's just going to mess with their reality. Why would this be so scary? Well, it's 1/3 of the angels that fell. That is a lot of angels. And they're not likely all the same class. That amount of angels. Okay, so let's see. We have possibly some cherubim in there. So what would that look like coming down from the sky? Winged creatures with their bodies covered in eyes, and they have 4 faces. It's pretty scary. Then we have the guardian class of cherubs, and that is going to be seraphs or seraphim. What do they look like? Winged reptilian creatures falling to the sky, right? And then we saw another class of angel. We saw that really, really giant angel who had the small scroll. He was super big, super giant looking humanoid beings coming down. So to these people, it's looking like a massive alien invasion.